I'm a 30-year-old woman, married to my 35-year-old husband, and we have a 6-month-old son. My family includes my 35-year-old sister, her 14-year-old biological son, Kevin, her 40-year-old husband, Joe, and Joe's 15-year-old daughter, Kelly, from a previous relationship. My sister's family is blended, and while it's still a work in progress, we've always welcomed Joe and Kelly into our lives. A few weeks ago, my husband and I hosted a small gathering at our home to celebrate my birthday and let family spend time with our baby. Attendees included my sister's family and our parents, so it was a cozy, low-key event. The gathering went smoothly with no incidents. However, days later, Kevin visited us and said he needed to talk about something troubling. Kevin and Kelly go to the same school and share some friends. He revealed that Kelly had been telling her peers that during our party, she saw my husband's private parts. According to her story, she was in the bathroom when my husband walked in without knocking, with his private parts exposed. This claim is ridiculous. My husband is careful about such things, even when it's just us at home, let alone with guests present. I called a family meeting at my parents' house to confront Kelly. She broke down in tears and admitted she made it up. She said her friends had been boasting about their romantic experiences, and since she had none, she fabricated this story to seem interesting. I was furious. I called her a liar, a manipulator, and said she endangered my husband's reputation and our family's safety just to look cool. I declared that I'd never allow my family near her again. The fallout was swift. Kevin told their school friends the truth, and my sister and Joe informed the school principal to ensure no false rumors led to action against my husband. My parents cut ties with Kelly, refusing to let her visit their home. My sister decided Kelly could no longer live with them, and she was sent to live permanently with her biological mother. Before anyone judges my sister, consider that she's protecting her son, Kevin. If Kelly could lie so easily about my husband, what's to stop her from making up stories about her stepbrother? Joe is heartbroken and conflicted. He's been pleading with me to let Kelly apologize, saying she's depressed and remorseful. I've refused, stating that her apology means nothing, and I'll never forgive or forget what she did. Joe keeps asking me to reconsider, hoping that if I forgive her, my sister might eventually let Kelly return. I told him a teenager's reckless lie could ruin a man's life, and I won't risk it. I also support my sister's decision to protect Kevin before Kelly moved out. Kevin stayed with us for a few days to avoid her. I stand by my actions and words but feel bad for Joe. He's a good man who values family and honesty, and this situation with his daughter is tearing him apart. Was I too harsh on him? Update, July 1, 2025. Thank you all for your responses to my earlier post. Your advice, experiences, and feedback have been incredibly helpful and therapeutic, though some stories were heartbreaking to read. Many of you asked for an update, so here's what's happened since. First, I'll address 3 recurring points from your comments. We are certain Kelly lied. There's no doubt or speculation about this. Some of you seem to sympathize with her due to your own experiences, but please stop assuming my husband did anything inappropriate. I've received messages calling him a predator, warning me I'll regret defending him, or insulting me for standing by him. These are baseless and cruel. I ignore such messages and won't engage with those who wish harm on strangers. If you think this story is fake, that's fine, but why comment if you believe I made it up? Feel free to move on. I'm not open to forgiving Kelly, accepting her apology, or allowing her near my husband or son. This is a joint decision with my husband, and it's final. My family's choices to cut contact with her are theirs alone. I only set boundaries for my immediate family now. The update. I spoke with my sister recently, and some developments are coming up. Kevin will stay with us for a week starting tomorrow so my sister and Joe can address their situation. They plan to visit Kelly at her mother's house to discuss her future. My sister asked Kevin if he felt unsafe with Joe or wanted her to end the marriage. Kevin said he doesn't want to ruin their marriage, doesn't hate Joe, despite saying so in anger, and feels safe with him, but refuses to be around Karen. My sister and Joe are working with a therapist to save their marriage, and it's been helpful. The therapist advised Joe that he can maintain a relationship with Kelly while preserving his family with my sister. Divorcing wouldn't solve anything and could set a precedent of abandoning his life whenever Kelly causes trouble. The therapist emphasized that Joe and Kelly are separate individuals, and he can support her without her living with them. They've decided Kelly will stay with her mother permanently, and her mother agrees. A suggestion from a commenter was that Kevin could stay with us if Kelly visits their home. I offered this to my sister, and Kevin enjoys staying with us and his baby cousin, so it's likely workable, though we'll check with him later. Kevin is in therapy due to nightmares and outbursts triggered by mentions of Kelly. Recently, he had a panic attack, crying and expressing hatred for her. With time and therapy, we believe he'll recover, but we're taking it slow. Kelly will transfer to a different school this summer to avoid seeing Kevin and potential bullying. Her friends shared her lie with their parents, who now ban her from their homes to avoid risks. I'm not surprised. Most adults wouldn't allow someone like her around after this. I'm relieved others are aware and can protect themselves. That's the update for now. I'll post again if anything significant happens. I'm excited for Kevin's visit. He's a great gaming partner, unlike my husband who isn't into games. Next story. I'm a 31-year-old man, married to my 30-year-old wife, Valerie, for 5 years, together for 8. She's been jealous of a coworker, Heather, a tall, attractive woman in her early 20s. I don't go out of my way to interact with Heather, but we worked on a month-long project with 3 other colleagues 8 months ago. That's when Valerie's jealousy started. She met Heather when picking me up for dinner at my parents' house and immediately asked about her. I explained Heather was a new colleague on our project. During the project, Valerie was moody, often criticizing Heather's appearance, like her height or features. Valerie, who's 54 and petite, is insecure about not being tall. I find her stunning and tell her so, but she became convinced I was attracted to Heather. I reassured her Heather was just a coworker, but Valerie's behavior grew cold toward her. She'd dress up excessively when meeting me after work and exclude Heather when sharing bakery treats from her job. Heather noticed the hostility and asked me why Valerie acted that way. I brushed it off, saying Valerie might not know her well. Heather then adjusted her schedule to avoid leaving work with the group. On Friday, a coworker, Brian, told me privately that he saw a text on another coworker, Kate's phone, from Valerie, asking if I'd spoken to Heather that day and how long Heather might stay at the job. When confronted, Kate admitted she and Valerie were friends but seemed nervous. I checked Valerie's phone. I know it was wrong and found weeks of texts where Kate reported my interactions with Heather, conversations, gestures, or if I laughed at her jokes. Kate also spoke highly of Valerie to Heather, emphasizing our marriage and even joking creepily about Valerie baking someone into a pie if they threatened our relationship. Heather became distant, likely sensing the tension. I've felt uneasy since learning this, unable to look at Heather without shame or Kate without disgust. I haven't confronted Valerie yet, unsure how to approach it. This has made me question our relationship. I feel watched and judged for normal work interactions. I haven't discussed this with anyone else, not even Brian. I need advice on what to do next. Comments. This calls for couples counseling. Valerie's actions, spying, distrust, and targeting Heather are disrespectful and toxic. Kate's involvement is unprofessional and could warrant an HR report for creating a hostile workplace. Consider discussing counseling with Valerie, and if she refuses, reevaluate the marriage. Has she been jealous before? What caused this distrust? I'm sorry this is affecting your work and Heather, who's caught in the crossfire. Response. Yes, Valerie's always been insecure about her appearance, despite being gorgeous. She was bullied as a kid for her looks and thinks I secretly prefer tall, blonde women, though I've never suggested that. Update. Thank you for the overwhelming support and 300+ comments. I followed the advice to confront Valerie with therapy as a requirement. On Tuesday, I told Kate at work to stop reporting on me, and she distanced herself. I left work early, unable to focus, and asked Valerie to come home to talk. I revealed I knew about her texts with Kate and the harassment of Heather. She initially denied wrongdoing, saying I shouldn't care if I had nothing to hide. I explained how her actions broke my trust, caused workplace drama, and risked my job. She suggested they could claim Heather was inappropriate to protect me, which led to a heated argument. After hours of discussion, she agreed to couples and possibly individual therapy. She apologized, admitted her jealousy, and offered to apologize to Heather, which I declined to avoid more drama. She texted Kate to stop and gave me her phone password, but I said trust, not access, was the issue. I warned that any continuation would lead to separation and divorce. The next day, Kate apologized, and I set boundaries, limiting our interactions to work only. At lunch, Brian told me Heather requested a department transfer after Kate implied my absence was due to marital issues involving her. Heather went to senior management for the transfer, likely to escape the drama. I feel humiliated, as this will likely spread in the office, affecting my reputation. I can't face Heather to apologize, as she likely wants no contact. While Valerie and I are working toward therapy, the workplace fallout feels irreparable. I was naive to think resolving things with her would fix everything. Thanks for the advice. It helped me navigate this, though I'm still lost on handling the workplace consequences.